She's someone I still think about, someone I once believed I'd grow old with, and maybe one day I'll try again. You will. Oh, absolutely. But the truth is, it was never that simple. The world sees Tom Cruise as fearless, controlled, unshakable. But behind the spotlight, there's a man who never quite figured out love. 3 marriages, endless headlines, and a distance that quietly grew, even between him and his own children. For years, people have asked the same question. Who was the greatest love of his life? Was it the woman who changed his beliefs forever? The one who stood beside him for over a decade? Or the one who walked away, taking his daughter with her? For a long time he said nothing, until, slowly, through rare words and even rarer actions, the answer began to reveal itself. Before the fame, before the world knew his name, there was Melissa Gilbert. He was just a teenager. No fame, no certainty, just a past that had already left its mark. Their connection wasn't built on Hollywood dreams. It was built on late-night conversations, on quiet confessions, on a kind of honesty that rarely survives success. He told her everything about his childhood, his struggles, the constant moving, the feeling of never truly belonging anywhere. And for the first time, someone really listened. He loved deeply, purely, maybe too purely for the world they were stepping into. But she saw something he couldn't yet understand, that he wasn't just looking for love. He was looking for something to fill a space much deeper than that. And she knew she couldn't be that person. So one day, without drama, without anger, she let him go. Years later, he would only say, "She believed in me when I had nothing." And maybe that's what first love is. Not something that lasts forever, but something that never really leaves you. Then came fame. Fast, loud, unforgiving. And with it, attention, expectations, pressure. That's when he met Heather Locklear. She was confident, established, comfortable in the spotlight. But he was still trying to prove something. That night on the dance floor, when he suddenly dropped into that bold, unforgettable split, people saw confidence. But underneath it was something else, a need to be seen, to be validated. She noticed it, and just as quickly, she stepped away. Because sometimes, recognizing someone's potential doesn't mean you're meant to stay for their journey. Then came something deeper. Rebecca De Mornay. This wasn't just attraction. This was connection. For the first time, he opened up completely. His fears, his loneliness, his need to be loved. And for a moment, felt like it could last. But something else was growing at the same time. His career. And eventually, the distance between them became impossible to ignore. No betrayal. No explosive ending. Just 2 people, slowly drifting apart. And he would later admit, sometimes you have to accept when things aren't working and let go. Even someone like Cher saw it. The charm, the intensity, the loneliness. She once said he was incredible, but she also saw what others missed. A man who had everything except a place where he truly felt at peace. Then came the turning point. Mimi Rogers. This relationship wasn't just emotional. It was transformative. She introduced him to a new way of thinking, a new structure, a new sense of control over the chaos he had always felt inside. For the first time, it wasn't just about love. It was about direction. They got married. Quietly, privately, but it didn't last. Because while he was trying to find himself, he was also losing the balance needed to hold on to someone else. Then came what looked like perfection. Nicole Kidman. 2 stars. Powerful image. A life that seemed complete. They built a family, shared success, created something the world admired. But behind that image, there were cracks, differences, pressure, control. And eventually, it all fell apart. Not just a marriage, but the idea that he had finally found home. He tried again, with Penelope Cruz, then with Katie Holmes. And with Katie, it felt different. Marriage, a daughter, family. Suri Cruz. This wasn't just love anymore. This was everything he had been searching for. A real home. But once again, it didn't last. This time, the ending was faster, quieter, more final. And it left behind something deeper than heartbreak. Distance. Between a father and his daughter. And that's where everything changes. Because after all the relationships, after all the endings, after all the noise, one truth remains. The deepest connection in his life was never about romance. It wasn't about fame, or control, or perfection. It was about something simpler, something real. His daughter, Suri. No headlines can define that. No image can capture it. But in the end, that's the love that stayed. He conquered the world. But love? That was always different. And maybe that's the real story. Not of a man who failed at relationships, but of someone who spent his entire life trying to understand what love really means. And now the question is, after everything, will he ever find it again? Or has he already found the only version of it that truly mattered?